Hello, good morning, and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History. What happened today in history?
Historical calendar and the website onthisday.com.
For links to those sources, the music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander.
I am Scott.
And today is Woden's Day, also known as Odin's Day, also known as Wednesday, Wednesday's Day, or whatever, August 24th, 2022. So, what happened? And actually, let's start a new thing. Let's try to read, the very first and the very last, as well as, all the highlighted ones, just to seal up the whole thing, you know?
Okay. So, 49 BC.
Yep.
Julius Caesar's general Gaius Scribonius Curio is defeated in the second battle of the Bagradas River by the Numidians under Publius Adius Verus and King Juba in Numidia. Curio commits suicide to avoid capture.
Oh, dang.
Man, there was some names and stuff to read in that one. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah, those Romans really liked their Latin. So, and they still do. The Roman Catholics, the papacy, the Vatican, everything's in Latin, and it feels like I'm reading a Warhammer 40k novel about the Imperium of Man. So, I swear. Well, what else happened? We have a significant
I do
time
wonder
jump here.
I wonder what would happen to them if they did capture him. For them to actually end their life to avoid capture, they must have really screwed people up.
Well, I mean, there's countless ways to torture people, humiliate them. He could also be ransomed off, if you want your leader again, that'll cost half of your, GDP or something,
Yeah.
There's, it's a political thing, the same thing still happens to this date, every now and then, politicians and stuff, get kidnapped, get captured, so.
True. So, next one.
Yep.
Okay. The 17-year-old witnessed the eruption of Vesuvius. So, in 79, believed until 2018 to be the date of the massive eruption of Mount Vesuvius, which buried the cities of Pompeii, Herculaneum, Aplantis, and Stabiae, killing untold thousands. Latest evidence suggests the eruption occurred after the 17th of October.
Yeah, when it comes to things that far back, we don't have any solid documentation of stuff. I mean, hell, we even forgot about it. We didn't know about this whole situation until Pompeii was accidentally rediscovered during some kind of construction. No, I think it was some farmer in a field fell through his field into a hole, and that was the caved out portion of one of the buildings or whatever. And then archaeologists went in there oh my god, there's a whole city down there. So
yeah, isn't there a site where they're kind of casted in almost concrete from when it went off? I've looked at pictures of some Pompeii stuff, and they're just stuck in the position when they were in the eruption.
yeah, all the pyroclastic flow and everything is solidified over them and entombed them in more or less concrete or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Have you seen that one guy who was having a good time, so to speak, in his last moments?
I don't know if I remember that one, but that's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, they I'm not sure if it was a recent uncovery or something 10 years ago or so, but there was a guy just sitting on the floor, having a good time, and he's just frozen in that position forever.
Yeah.
You have one more here.
In 410, Rome, overrun by Visigoths under Alaric I, for the first time in nearly 800 years, seen as the fall of the Western Roman Empire.
Oh, wow.
That's some picture, too.
Ooh, the Colosseum's on fire. Yeah, that's...
I don't know, That must have been really living like large back in the day, because that's like some really nice architecture.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that's why so many people are comparing the times we're living with now as the same as the fall of Rome, because the United States Empire, the American Empire, uh, we are over decadent. We are going to fall in a similar way from within, and look at what's going on right now. So
Yeah, agreed.
we're seeing it. But that's interesting. So the same dates, not year-wise, but day dates on the calendar, presumed to be one of the possibilities of Vesuvius's eruption is the same one as the fall of Rome, or the Western Rome at least.
Oh yeah, huh?
That's intriguing.
Yeah, it is.
That's kind of like an omen in history, Like, oh, one city fell and your entire thing's gonna fall soon. So. 1215, Pope Innocent III declared the Magna Carta invalid. Oh, what? Wow.
That's interesting right there.
That's evil. Innocent was not innocent. How can you possibly invalidate the Magna Carta, dude? That is one of mankind's greatest achievements right there.
Yeah, look how it's written. It's written in it's so tiny. I don't know if that's just a picture, but wow.
Yeah. Well, they got to put on a bunch of stuff. And paper, you got to remember, paper was very expensive, very difficult to make back in those times. So you had to utilize every, so you write really small to put as much as you can, if it's going to be a big document,
Yeah, it's a parchment paper with iron gall ink. That's interesting.
Interesting. And medieval Latin, so yeah.
Medieval Latin, wow.
1349, during the Black Death, the bubonic plague, 6,000 Jews, they were blamed for the plague, and they were killed in Mainz. Wow.
Why is it them always, Jews are blamed for this and that? What over...
Yeah. I mean, the Jews do, get, curb stomping a lot. Sometimes it's unwarranted, but not all the time. But this time, yeah, that's just ridiculous. But something a lot of people don't realize is that, along with COVID-19 and all the stuff that we've been going on, this year or the past couple of years, the Black Death, the bubonic plague, the Spanish flu, and several other, world-changing epidemics have all stemmed out of China.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and I believe it was the bubonic plague itself came from Wuhan too. And
no way.
Yes way. We can look it up. So, 1511, Alfonso de Albuquerque of Portugal conquered Malacca, the capital of the Sultanate of Malacca. Huh. Albuquerque. New Mexico didn't even exist yet, so how is he de Albuquerque? Or maybe this is what Albuquerque is named after, this guy.
Probably.
Yeah. And that's my 3.
Alright, so 1572, St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre of Protestants by Roman Catholics begins in Paris and later spreads to the French provinces.
Dang. There's just a tide of bloodshed. It's awful.
Yeah, I guess a bunch of stuff happened on this date.
A lot of stuff happens every day, man. Look at all the stuff we're not even reading. We're only reading a third, maybe that, of all this. More like 15% actually when I think about it. What else happened?
1682, Duke James of York gives Delaware to William Penn.
Nice.
Wow. This is starting to get into the original United States now.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
William Penn was the founder of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. So he was given Delaware, and he later created Pennsylvania. So that's cool.
Definitely. Oh. As we go on, I'll try to see if there's anything else interesting to read, but...
That's okay. Let's just focus on the highlighted ones.
Fair enough. 1787, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart completes his violin and piano sonata in A.K. 526.
I don't know what that means. I know A is like a key, A and B,
Yep.
and, minor, and, C and D and all that stuff, so.
Yep. Not sure what it is either, but In 1831, John Henslow asks Charles Darwin to travel with him on the HMS Beagle.
Huh, that's pretty cool. That'd be
So
fun
that's
to travel the world and categorize new species with the man himself.
Yeah, it would. Huh.
1847, Charlotte Bronte finished manuscript of Jane Eyre. Okay.
A novelist.
Yeah.
Books are not my strong point.
Yeah, I gotta get back into writing though. Like, I have a lot of books in my brain that I just gotta get out, but I just gotta get out of California, change my environment, change my mindset, and all that stuff. I have a long road ahead of me. 1891, Thomas Edison patented the motion picture camera that he most likely stole from one of his, underpaid underlings. Crap. So.
Which people probably don't realize.
Yeah, dude. Edison didn't do crap. Edison didn't invent anything. He had people invent things under him, and because they were employed by him, he could take credit, which he did. He's just the biggest con man, and God, the things he did were awful. Like, one of the worst things, if not the worst, was electrocuting to death an elephant with his own direct current power, while saying it was Nikola Tesla's alternating current, trying and straight up lying about it, all in the name of business and money. An innocent animal was needlessly murdered. This guy was a monster. And I hope with all of my heart and my soul that Thomas Edison is burning in the lowest pits of hell for all of eternity, because he deserves that and worse. And that's how I feel about it. Yep. In 1908, Canadian champion Tommy Byrne knocked out Bill Squires in 13th round at the Sydney Stadium, Australia, to retain World Heavyweight Boxing title. Burns' third knockout of Squires. Just stay down, dude. Like, so this is the third time this guy knocked this guy out.
Boxing was probably a little different back in those days.
Yeah. Yep. I believe it's your turn now. Oh, just in time. It's baseball.
Yeah, it's a little older, but yeah, 1912, New York City ticker tape parade for Jim Thorpe and victorious U.S. Olympians. Huh.
Wow.
This is just way back in the baseball time, so I'd have to almost study more into some of that, because that's like history book stuff.
That's 110 years ago.
Yeah, it's really the beginning, because they got I think the Black Sox were 1908 or somewhere around there, or whatever that was. That's when they have you heard that story of the Black Sox where they threw the game or something on purpose in the World Series?
Well, I just searched when were Black Sox founded, and I see the Black Sox scandal.
Right.
They're accused of throwing the 1919 something.
So it was almost there. I knew it was around that time. Yeah.
Yeah. The Baltimore Black Sox were a professional black league baseball team active between 1913 and 1936, based in Baltimore, Maryland. So they started in 1913. Looks like. What else happened?
I just you get a kick out of just the uniforms, and like their gloves were so much different back then. 1914, Paul Rubens and Sidney Green's musical, with additional songs by Jerome Kern and Herbert Reynolds, The Girl from Utah, premieres at the Knickerbocker Theater in New York City.
Cool. The musical. Why does this guy looks like such a dweeb. With those round glasses. And that oval face. Actually, he kind of looks like Muffin. A little bit.
I don't know if I've seen Muffin before.
He has like an oval head. We have another one here in 1923.
1923, Paavo Nurmi of Finland runs world record 3-mile time of 14 minutes 11 14 minutes, 11 seconds, and 2 milliseconds in Stockholm. Intermediate time during the 5,000 meter event. Wow.
That's
That's
fast.
like, yeah, because a 5-minute mile is like super fast, so that's really fast.
So that's under an average of 5 minutes per mile.
Wow.
1925. Sorry.
I didn't know that was it. Seeing those times from that, I didn't even know that was, records in that. That's super fast.
Yeah. 1925, we have a good old doll-face herself, U.S. National Championship Women's Tennis at Forest Hills, New York. Helen Wills Moody defeated Kitty McCain of England 3-6, 6-0, 6-2 for her third straight U.S. singles title. Yeah. Like, why is
She was good.
Every time I see that picture, like her head just transforms into a pea, Like, it's
Yep.
weird. Like, anyway,
I don't know,
1932, first transcontinental. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sure if you took that picture and just photoshopped it a little bit, you can make it happen. But go on.
I don't know how to Photoshop, but I need to find somebody to do that for me because that'd just be so funny.
Yeah.
Like I don't mean any disrespect to her. I'm sure she was great. It's just she has a very unfortunate head shape, and size in proportion to her body. It looks like a pea, like it's perfectly round.
Yep.
And I can actually see her look on her face slowly turning one of disapproval. So, gonna move up into 1932, the first transcontinental non-stop flight by a woman, Amelia Earhart. Nice.
It took a while to find where she crashed as well.
Well, this is not when she crashed. This is when she completed, she was going on something, I think a circumnavigation attempt. I'm not sure.
The first one, yeah.
Yeah.
That just made me think about it, how when they finally found, her crash, but...
Yeah, well, they haven't found it, but, they surmise that she may have been eaten by, those giant crabs. There's these huge crabs, in this one area, in the Pacific Ocean, and they eat anything, and I mean anything. And, there's a story about somebody, somebody being stranded on an island or something after a shipwreck or after another plane crash or something, and he found some skeletal remains, but he wasn't a skeleton doctor or anything, so he didn't know. But they were human, so that much he could say, and that could have been her skeleton. She could have survived the crash or whatever and ended up on the island, and those crabs could have eaten her while she slept. Who knows?
Hopefully not, but yeah. Oh.
That'd be an awful way to go for somebody like her,
Oh, yeah.
Terrible. Anyway, 1936, Franklin Delano Roosevelt gave the FBI the authority to pursue fascists and communists. Yeah, well, once you open up that door, then people can use that same stuff to start going after other people, like what's being going on today, 87,000 new IRS agents, really? Wow. Then, why don't you take this one?
Sure. 1940, Red Sox left fielder Ted Williams pitches the last 2 innings in a 12-1 loss to Detroit Tigers. Williams allows 3 hits and 1 run, so he was a position player pitching in that. He's a good hitter. One of the most decorated Boston Red Sox hitters.
Cool.
But in today's date, he was a pitcher in a big loss.
Yeah,
they do that in baseball sometimes. If the one team is up by so much, they'll take in and put in a position player if they don't want to use another pitcher. Doesn't happen too much.
This means you're just speaking, Mongolese to me. I just.
Yeah, all right, yeah, but yeah, that's what happens.
I need to learn
sometimes.
more, though.
Yeah, well, me too with the history.
Yeah. We have another one here.
So in 1945, Cleveland ace Bob Feller returns from the Navy and strikes out 12.
Dang. So he goes from lobbing shells into enemy fortifications to lobbing balls into the home base.
Yeah, and that's right around World War II, so exact time.
Yeah, actually, this is This is after, remember VE or VJ Day happened like a week or so ago? So yeah, he returned from the Navy, so he sounds like the war is over, and he came back from service and started playing baseball again. Because the war ended earlier in August. And remember, like the beginning of this month, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and then the victory in Japan Day? So, you have a third one here.
1951, Bill Veek's Fans Managers Night. Browns defeat A's 5-3. Browns coaches hold up play cards for fans to vote on strategy options. Huh, that's interesting.
Placards, which are like, like...
Placards.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, signs, like...
Yeah. 1954, U.S. President Eisenhower signed Communist Control Act outlawing the Communist Party at the height of McCarthyism. Well,
is that from some name, McCarthy, like McCarthyism?
Yeah, John McCarthy, I believe his first name was. Like he was some lawyer or something, and like he was anti-communist. Like like McCarthyism was an era, and I really wish my dad was here because he lived through it. And but like it was basically like a soft version of what's going on today with all of the liberals and all of the left pushing everything that they're pushing. It wasn't as extreme as it is today, but like it was the other side of the coin, so it was like all about anti-communism, anti-this, anti-that, anybody who was like even potentially associated with communism in Hollywood got blacklisted. They couldn't get any work. Like it was bad, like for like it was good in theory, but in practice, like once you start taking rights away from people, then you're no better than the people that you're up against. Like
yeah, true.
You got to show them in your practice your superiority to them by allowing them to do in a world where if they were in your position, they wouldn't allow you. They need to realize that if the shoe was on the other foot, it's a better world.
Agreed, yeah.
Anyway, 1962, Los Angeles Dodger coach Leo Durocher suffered a near-fatal allergic reaction to a penicillin injection while in the clubhouse at the Polo Grounds in New York City. Wow. Jesus.
Yeah, that's some story. That is some story.
Oh, penicillin. That's supposed to, save lives, not end them. Well, that's weird.
Yeah, just a regular antibiotic.
Yeah, but he's allergic to it. I mean, like, it's weird. Like, there's the allergy to latex is actually great enough that doctors, at least out here, they always ask, like, do you have any latex allergies? Because that dictates what gloves they can wear, while treating you.
That's true, yeah.
I am allergic to nickel, the metal. Like, so, like, yeah. Then, 1972, Gordie Howe and Jean Bellevue were inducted into the Ice Hockey Hall of Fame. Well, that's an Alice story right there.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. Ah, your turn.
1975, PGA Tournament Players Championship, Colonial Country Club, Al Geiberger leads wire-to-wire to finish 3 strokes ahead of runner-up Dave Stockton.
Huh. Oh, look, it's you.
Another one. A guitarist guy with some long hair.
Yeah.
1979, musical film Rock and Roll High School, directed by Alan Arkush, featuring the Ramones, premieres in New York City, released throughout the U.S. 20 days later.
Cool.
He just looks like angry in that picture.
Yeah. He's just, Oh, there's a woman in there, do you see?
Yeah, it looked like their hair was like attached, yeah.
Well, I was wondering, like, is that an instrument? What's going on? I'm like, oh, wait, it's a person. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. 1981, Mark David Chapman is sentenced to 20 years to life for John Lennon's murder.
That's not a long enough sentence.
Yeah.
For a Beatle, like the sentence should be immediate execution.
Yeah,
Like,
it would. Yeah.
I'm not even a Beatles
For a
fan,
while.
but like based off of like how they their cultural significance has to be recognized. So sorry, you were gonna say something.
Didn't he do it in public, like, or was that somebody
No,
else?
he somehow got past the guard post while John Lennon was in a hotel, and he just like shot him in the hotel room or something like that. I think.
Yeah, yeah. It makes me think about how when I drive down, there's a road in town, kind of nearby, and it's in like a canal where they got big rocks up on the side, and there was somebody that just spray painted it like "Why Lennon," and it makes me think of that every time I drive by. You just see it driving by.
Yeah, there's a
So, yeah.
song called Radio Friendly Song, and one of the lyrics is, "Why did John Lennon have to be the one to get shot? Something's wrong," you know?
Yeah. Huh.
1983, Cincinnati Red, Pete Rose ended consecutive games played streak at 745. That's a lot.
Wow. So that's kind of close to like Cal Ripken, who had his like 2,000 straight. That's still a long streak of played games though for Pete Rose.
Well, 745 to 2,000 is a pretty significant discrepancy right there. Not even halfway
True.
to there, yeah. No, yeah.
Wasn't even a quarter of the way to that record.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, no, he was a quarter to 2,000 is 500. He was 3/4 to 1,000 almost. He was 5 short. 750 would be a quarter to 1,000. So I'm not going to do math, but the fraction is there. It's relatively simple. But
Yeah.
I'm going to move up into 1984. Pat Bradley set LPGA record for 9 holes with a 28 during the second round of Columbia Savings Columbia Savings National at Green Gables Country Club, Denver, Colorado. Why did I just have a stroke? Like, that was weird. I couldn't read for a second. 1991, Mikhail Gorbachev resigned as head of the USSR Communist Party. Yep. The Union of Socialist Soviet Republic. Your turn.
I know, probably a good day that he did that. I don't know.
Well, 1991 was pretty much the end. They fully collapsed in like 93 or 94. So, actually, when did the USSR collapse? December 26, 1991. So, this was
really.
just several months before.
Yep.
So, both you and I, actually, no, you were not alive yet. Just shy.
Not quite.
So at least I was alive during the Soviet Union. Isn't that crazy?
It is, yeah.
Like, the same union that was around during World War II, that formed after World War I. The first 4 years of my life, that union was still around. Like, that's pretty intense, dude.
Agreed, yeah.
What happened in 2004?
2004 future 8-time Olympic gold medal winner Usain Bolt of Jamaica finishes 5th in his 200-meter heat in 21:05, failing to qualify for the second round at the Athens Olympics.
Uh-oh. So it sounds like he's getting old. He finished
Yeah,
5th.
or maybe he was like injured or something. Who knows? Yeah.
Wow, he was born in 86, so he's 36 years old.
Actually, then he's probably slowing down a little by then, yeah.
Actually, he'd be 37, because he was born August 21st, 1986, and that was 3 days ago. I know, he's 36. It says right here, he's 36.
Right after his birthday, yeah.
Yeah. Huh. So yeah, no, running at 36, yeah, no, he's losing his stuff. So.
Yep. And then in 2006, after signing a one-day contract with the San Francisco 49ers, Jerry Rice officially retired from the NFL.
Aww.
So it's like a one-day say goodbye thing. One-day contract.
Oh man, that's a short stint right there.
Oh yeah. It's like they gotta make it official. They can't just let them hang out for one day.
Yep. 2008, the star-studded U.S. men's basketball team, led by the likes of LeBron James, Chris Paul, and Kobe Bryant, won the gold medal at the Beijing Olympics with a relatively narrow 118 to 107 win over Spain.
And I'm pretty sure, they had the Dream Team in '92, and I'm pretty sure this was called the Redeem Team.
The Redeem Team.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. They had some good players on it this year, that 2008 year.
Yep. Going from good players to very bad people, 2011, Steve Jobs resigned as CEO of Apple Inc. and was succeeded by Tim Cook as a result of his illness.
Yeah, all those stories coming out about Steve Jobs, yeah.
Steve Jobs was just a piece of shit, dude. He didn't invent anything. Once again, this guy didn't invent anything. All he did was, he slave drove his, essentially what he did was, they barely had the money. They're scraping by. They're really going, they finally get to where they wanted to go. You're like, okay, good. Now let's go here. You see this book? I want to read this book on this pad. Make it happen. God, the people under his command, dude, were just tortured, just awful. What this guy did to people was just abysmal.
So I've heard, yeah.
Yeah. So I shed no tears for Steve Jobs' death. And, oh god, another piece of shit. 2015, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced that for the first time, 1 billion people logged into Facebook. Yeah, well, let's bring up the dead internet theory. How many of those were actually people?
Yeah, who knows, right?
Yeah, what if half of those were all bots just to get to the billion mark to say that he could do that,
Yeah, just one picture and no info, just blank.
Yep.
Something like that.
Well, going from the worst of people to, some of the best here, and this is your article. So.
2015 physicist Stephen Hawking presents a new theory on black holes at a lecture at the, I don't know what KTH is, but KTH Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm.
Interesting, that's in Sweden. KTH. I'm trying to figure out what it even means. Abbreviated KTH. What does KTH stand for?
You could type in maybe KTH Royal Institute of Technology, maybe you'll find it.
I did.
Oh.
So hold on, let's see here. I'm gonna just go to the Wikipedia right here. Okay, it's Swedish for Kungliga Tekniska Högskolan.
Wow.
Yeah, whatever that means.
That's a mouthful, yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna translate that. So let's see here. Translates. Well, it literally means Royal Institute of Technology. Oh my god. Wow. So KTH translated from Sweden, it goes into RIT. That's interesting. That's really interesting. That was really cool. You know what? Just because of that, I'm going to add this wiki into the underbar. So, what else happened?
Alright. 2018, Aerosmith lead singer Steven Tyler sends cease and desist letter to U.S. President Trump demanding he stop using the band's songs at rallies.
Oh my god.
How about that? You could even do that to the president? Holy moly, they didn't get his permission.
Yeah. Yeah, well, number one, Trump should have gotten permission. But number two, Aerosmith, well, Steven Tyler at least, is on the wrong side of history, by trying to disassociate himself, because if I am wrong about Trump, then he is what everybody thinks he is. He is what this country and the world needs. However, if I am right about Trump, we are in a deep world of shit. So, moving up into 2018, French Open tennis banned Serena Williams' black Nike catsuit from future tournaments, citing respect for the game and the place. Yeah, I can see that.
Show too much skin or something.
Well, probably too BDSM, too slutty, or something too revealing, is it too expressive in the I don't know. There's a million different ways women could dress provocatively, But actually, why don't we just look at it? Black, Serena
Well, I
Williams.
bet some people just watch women's tennis to hear them grunt while they hit it back and forth.
Oh, I find that annoying as hell. It's like, ugh, 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 ugh. Like, oh my god, stop making noise. Okay, yeah, it really accentuates her rear end. I'm looking at it right now. And, yeah. Like, it distracts from the actual game. You're busy ogling her, you're not paying attention to the ball, you know?
Yep.
I mean, like, the whole meme about, tennis is like everybody's in the stands just doing this, left, right. They're not all just like staring at one player, like, got to keep the meme alive,
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny too. Like, if it gets loud, they'll have to be like, shh, quiet. The crowd.
Yeah. Also in 2008, Scott Morrison became Prime Minister of Australia after defeating Peter Dutton in a leadership spill, replacing Malcolm Turnbull. Huh. That's a interesting name, Scott Morrison, right there.
Yeah, it's kind of like Jim Morrison or something. But yeah, Scott Morrison. Scott!
365 days later, in 2019, Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro ordered the army to help contain fires in the Amazon after widespread environmental destruction, wildlife loss, and international criticism. Yeah, that's right. The Amazon rainforest was on fire for a while. Might still be, I don't know. And nobody cared, Like, it's like, bro, that's our lungs, Why don't you take the last three here?
Sure. 2021, Beyonce becomes first black woman and third person to wear the Tiffany diamond in an advertising campaign for the company alongside her husband, Jay-Z. Wow. Lucky her. The epitome of money. The epitome of money.
Yeah. Oh, God.
An advertising campaign. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
The third person ever.
Yeah. So that's really, you're still in the single digits. So that's really good.
Yeah, I wonder how long that diamond's been around, but okay, I guess next one. 2021, Kathy Hochul becomes the first female governor of New York, replacing Andrew Cuomo after his resignation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lucky he resigned because he was going to be fired, I think.
Yeah, well, for what he's done, the people still should go after him, one way or another. Like, take him to court, strip him of everything, leave him, like, destitute. This idiot killed people, So, but anyway, one more.
Okay.
The white one.
Oh. 2021, UN says Madagascar on brink of world's first climate change famine, with people suffering catastrophic levels of hunger after 4 years without rain.
Okay, so move.
Exactly. You gotta go where the food is.
Yeah, like, don't just stand there and expect things to get better. Either do something or move, which is doing something. Like, move! Like, it's not that hard.
You're not just getting smited on purpose. It's you have to go, I guess. You have to find where you can live better. Although it is unfortunate, I guess, but.
Yep. Anyway, before we move on into births and deaths, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most?
We went through quite a bit today. So, I mean, we could start from Stephen Hawking.
Yeah,
that
was interesting.
It was good. His theory on black holes. We read about a bunch of people that weren't good for a few there, like Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs.
Yeah, Tim Cook, and there's also Thomas Edison, patenting that motion picture camera, I think.
Well, yeah, and then Gorbachev, he resigns. That was 91.
Cuomo resigning.
Of course, the Mark David Chapman and John Lennon, that was a big one.
Oh, yeah. Some of the ones in my mind were Vesuvius. Like,
Oh yeah, from the beginning, yeah.
yeah, this might be between this and October of 17th. Um, Vesuvius erupted, but then also like the sacking of Rome and the fall of the Western Roman Empire. You know,
True, yeah.
and the first time in nearly 800 years the city got attacked. So that's a long time of peace. You know.
For sure.
And Pope Innocent III, invalidating the Magna Carta? Like, really?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. Like,
I wonder
Magna
why
Carta,
he what made him invalidate that, I wonder.
let's see here. Why did Pope Innocent III invalidate the Magna Carta? Like Sicily, England became a papal fief, an arrangement that probably reflected Innocent's ideal for the proper governance of Christendom. When the barons of England later forced John to sign the Magna Carta, Innocent declared the charter null and void because it violated the rights as feudal lord. Okay, so because he was forced to, that's right, he was forced to sign the Magna Carta because he was bad, but the Magna Carta is good. But for whatever reasons, religious, politics, and all that crap, they leaned on the technicality that because he was forced, it's invalidating. Let's not remember all the times that we forced, people who don't speak English, like the Hawaiians, to sign things. Sign their everything away, because they don't understand the language. Wouldn't that be invalidated under the same pretense?
By those notions, yeah.
Technically, Hawaii should be its own place, not a state, Anyway, moving on in the burst, why don't you start us off? With once again, we're doing the first and last, as well as all the highlighted ones in the middle. So, 11-13 here.
So 11-13, Geoffrey Plantagenet, Count of Anjou, conquered Normandy, born in Le Mans, France. He died in 1151.
Wow, so he wasn't that old.
Not really, yeah.
So
not
he was
even 40
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. 46, I think. I don't know. Oh, here's an interesting one.
1759, William Wilberforce, British politician, philanthropist, and leader of the movement to abolish the slave trade, born in Kingston upon Hull, Yorkshire, England. He died in 1833.
Yeah. Abolitionist of slavery. Good.
Yep.
Moving on up into 1899, George Louis Borges was born on this date. He was an Argentine writer of fiction and essays, Labyrinths. Born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, dying in 1986. We have Carlo Gambino, 1902, an Italian-born U.S. mafioso of the Gambino family. Born in Palermo, Sicily, Italy, dying in 1976. Sicilian mobster. Those guys are rough.
Oh yeah, the Gambino family is very known. I don't know if you know Whitey Bulger. I don't know if he came out of that or not too, but that could be after.
I have no idea. I don't know much of the mafia history and everything, other than they ran Las Vegas and whatnot. Rat Pack.
The Rackets.
Yeah. Who was born in 1922?
Howard Zinn, born in 1922, American historian and activist for A People's History of the United States, born in Brooklyn, New York. He died in 2010.
Dang. Historian and activist. Hey, that sounds like us.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
1933, Yasser Arafat, chairman of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, first president of the Palestinian National Authority from 1994 to 2004, and 1994 Nobel Peace Prize winner, born in Cairo, Egypt. He died in 2004.
Oh.
So
that was a while ago, man. I remember when he was around.
So that says the National Authority from 94 to 2004. Is that because he passed away in 2004?
Maybe he died in office, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Uh,
saying. Yeah.
oh yeah, he died of a hemorrhagic stroke, although rumors of AICS and polonium poisoning persist. So he might have been assassinated. But
Darn.
yeah. Who else was born on this date? Marsha P. Johnson in 1945, born Malcolm Michaels Jr., a black U.S. gay liberation and AIDS activist, drag queen, and transgender pioneer, Gage Liberation Front, and star, born in Elizabeth, New Jersey, dying in 1992. Yeah.
Wow, that's way back. That must have been hard to
Yeah,
be.
dude, like, he's rolling over in his grave with what's going on today. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like, a black, transgender, like, gay, like, or gay? No, yeah, gay. Wow. So he was everything.
Yeah.
Wow, so he's
A
like...
drag queen, yeah, everything, yeah.
Wow. Your turn.
Wow, the Gay Liberation Front, that's some name.
Yeah. The GLF.
Yeah.
Huh.
Next,
Yep, you turn.
1952, Mike Shanahan, American football coach of the Denver Broncos, born in Oak Park, Illinois.
Nice. Shanahan. Oh, this guy.
1957, Stephen Fry, English comedian, writer, and actor for Blackadder and QI, born in London.
Oh. We have Cal Ripken Jr., born on this date in 1960. He is a U.S. Baseball Hall of Fame shortstop, Major League Baseball record consecutive game streak, Baltimore Orioles, born in Havre de Grace, Maryland. Interesting. MLB record consecutive game streak. So let me look that up
Yep,
here real quick.
He's the one with the 2000s something other than
2,632. Good lord. That's almost 2,000 more than the other guy we were talking about earlier. Like,
yeah, 745. Yeah.
this guy, like, lapped him twice. Dang.
Yeah, that's why they call him the Iron Man.
Yeah. 1965, we have Marlee Matlin, a U.S. actress and the only deaf performer to win an Academy Award, Children of Lesser God, born in Morton Grove, Illinois.
Well, I've seen her on plenty roasts.
Huh. Oh,
The
she's
celebrity roast.
Oh, she's the one on the roast, right? Like you said.
Yeah, many of them anyway. I always see her on there.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Your turn. Oh, hey, this guy.
Yeah, 1988, Rupert Grint, English actor for Harry Potter, born in Harlow, Essex, England. It's Ron Weasley.
Ronald Weasley. Then
Those are some good movies.
we have another birthday today. It's not on the list. 1990. We have the one and only Tim Shitsby, born on this date in 1990. He is a current upcoming, like, aggressively white rapper. And we'll just see how it goes.
It's his birthday today, huh? It's his birthday, huh?
Yeah, happy birthday, Shim Titsby.
Yeah, I'll have to chat him up and tell him.
Moving on to the deaths. Starting us off in 1101, we have Su Shi Zizhan, Chinese poet, artist, and important figure in the Song Dynasty politics, died at the age of 64. And doing a one hell of a time jump, we have Nicolas Leonard Sadi Carnot, born in 1832. He was a French mechanical engineer and mathematician known as the father of thermodynamics, died of cholera at 36. Dang.
Well, he got a lot done while he was alive.
Yeah, well, people used to get stuff done back in the day, you know?
True.
Who else died?
Thermodynamics, so something that has to do with heat or temperature.
Yeah, let's see here. What is thermodynamics? Thermodynamics is the branch of physical science that deals with the relations between heat and other forms of energy, such as mechanical, electrical, or chemical energy, and by extension of the relationships between all forms of energy. So basically, like, the transference of energy, like, because energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only, transferred,
Right.
So, like, from the water to the paddle wheel to the, to whatever mechanisms to make the electricity. Same, with hydroelectricity, nuclear power, wind. Solar is different. They just straight up collect the particles, or they use mirrors to heat up something to, cause more thermodynamic, energy creation via boiling water with the sun. So.
Right.
Your turn.
Lots going on in there that
Yeah.
to figure out. 1954, Getulio Vargas, president of Brazil from 1930 to 1945, and then 1951 to 1954. Modernizer and dictator commits suicide at 71. It's awfully old to be doing that.
Yeah. Another one here.
Dictators never seem to end well.
No, I wonder why.
Yeah. 67, Henry J. Kaiser, industrialist of the Boulder Dam and the Liberty ship, dies at 85.
I wonder if the Liberty ship is that gargantuan ship. No. Oh, no, Liberty ships. They were a class of cargo ship built by the U.S. during the Second World War under the Emergency Shipbuilding Program. So, he was in charge of that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to put the Wikipedia in the underbar here. First, we have Bayard Rustin, died on this date in 1987. He was a U.S. civil rights leader, March on Washington organizer, and Social Democrats of the U.S. Died of a perforated appendix at 75. That sucks.
Sounds very painful.
Perforated appendix. That sounds not good.
Yeah, very painful.
I'm going to look that up here real quick.
That's like he needed an appendectomy and didn't get it in it.
It's a condition in which the appendix becomes inflamed and filled with pus, causing pain. So, that's gross and horrifying.
Yeah, he suffered, yeah.
Yeah. Then, let's see here. Who else died? Richard Attenborough. Aw. Oh, that guy. He died on this date in 2014. An English actor and director. Gandhi Young Winston died at the age of 90. He was the guy in Jurassic Park. The old guy.
Yeah, right.
Richard Attenborough. Man, rest in peace. Your turn.
2021, Charlie Watts, British rock and jazz drummer of the Rolling Stones, dies at 80.
Ooh. That was last year.
Yeah.
Another one last year.
I've had a bunch of famous people passing away in the last few years.
Yeah.
So next one?
Yep.
2021, Hissène Habré, Chadian politician and convicted war criminal, dictator of Chad from 1982 to 1990, dies in prison at 79.
Good. So, he didn't get a chance to off himself.
Nope.
And that concludes the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to everything Omni Coalition. We have a Rumble, a BitChute, it's on YouTube. This channel is my channel, and we have all those other things. Anyway, for your dose of Passive Events Daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time.
1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yep. For all of you and all of us, I am Mayo Xander.
And I am Scotty Boy.
And you are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles. Let's go, Brandon.